ESPN released its top 50 free agents and best fits for where all 50 of those players should sign. 2 players are listed as best fits for the Bears, and then there are 2 current Bears free agents that are viewed as best fits for other teams. So we'll talk about those 4 players coming up here on today's show. A couple of dates to keep in mind with NFL free agency on March 10th, Monday, March 10th, which is 20 days from now. That is when the legal tampering period starts. That's when contracts get agreed to. They can't officially be signed until the new league year on March 12th and once players conduct physicals. But that Monday, March 10th date is the most important one, at least for a content creator standpoint, because that's when all the deals start to go down, and that's where we'll have you guys covered, as we will be live, of course. As far as the Bears go, they currently are sitting with the number 6 most money in cap space, 6 in the NFL, with roughly $63 million in projected cap space. But as we outlined on a video late last week, the Bears can get well over $100 million in cap space with some contract restructures by cutting certain guys. If you want to know more details on how they can create even more cap space, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, go to the content tab. If you find this video, we kind of outlined some major moves the Bears could make to create even more cap space. Okay, no surprise to kick things off here, as the number 2 free agent on ESPN's list is Trey Smith, and they view the Bears as the best fit. Here's Matt Bowen of ESPN, who put together this list and best fits together. The top interior lineman on the market, Smith would upgrade a critical position of need in Chicago. Smith is a powerful mover in the run game, as his run block win rate of 75.1% ranked 6th among guards. Plus, he has the foot speed to mirror interior defenders and the strength at 6'6", 321 to anchor against bull rushes. Bears GM Ryan Poles could make a splash move to rebuild the front for Ben Johnson's new offense. Like I said, no surprise. B, I do get the feeling that it's going to be the Bears or the Chiefs for Trey Smith. Obviously, why the Chiefs? Because, their O-line's not in great shape. They could look to try to re-sign them. Obviously, they have some cap concerns they have to work through. We kind of outlined some of that on the earlier video today, so go check that out. And I do think if he hits the open market, given the Ryan Poles connection, given the Bears cap space, obviously other teams will be interested. Eric Bieniemy is here as well. That's a coach that Trey Smith respects. I do think the Bears are the team to beat in free agency for Trey Smith, because I do think they're willing to pay up. There's too much buzz. There's too much reporting on this that the Bears are interested. I do think this is a player that Ryan Poles will be willing to overpay for in NFL free agency, and he should, because it's a major need. He's by far the best player available at his position, and you bring him in here, you plug him in, assuming he does play right guard here next to Darnell Wright, the right side of your offensive line is set for years to come. What say you? Do you think it'll happen? Will the Bears get Trey Smith? Type Y for yes, type in for no. If he hits the open market, I think they will. If he does not, obviously that means he re-signed with the Chiefs. I think it's one of those 2 teams. Hopefully for our sake, it is the Chicago Bears. Okay, Drew Dalman, who I believe is ESPN's number 26 best free agent, also is viewed as a best fit with the Chicago Bears. Bowen, once again here, says, quote, I matched Trey Smith to the Bears, but this team can't stop there this spring. Let's also put Dalman, the top center in free agency, next to Smith. Dalman wins his assignments with movement and leverage to offset a smaller frame, 6'3", 300. He's a technician on tape, best suited for the zone run game, and his pass block win rate of 95.1% ranked 9th among centers with at least 500 snaps. You look at the last couple of years for Dalman, I do think that latter stat, his pass blocking, is an area that has absolutely improved. He's not a great pass blocker, but he's gotten to a point where he's in that average to above average range as a pass blocker, 9th in pass block win rate per ESPN's statistics last year. That's top 10. You'll take that. And he's always been excellent against the run, especially you get him on the move in the wide zone. We'll see what kind of running scheme Ben Johnson employs, but they use some of those concepts. I think he's a really, really good fit. Obviously, the Smith plus Dalman combo is something we've talked about. It's something Bears fans all over have been talking about on Twitter to, kind of empty the bank on these 2 players. It would cost a lot of money to get both. I think Dalman's getting north of $10 million per year. Trey Smith north of 20, so you're talking about north of $30 million for 2 interior offensive linemen. I've gone back and forth on doing it with Dalman if you get Smith, but just try to get the best guys, right? Like we've outlined how the Bears can create even more cap space. I think the Bears get at least one of these guys. If they get both, it's an absolute home run. Okay, we got some FGB t-shirts available right now. F Green Bay, you know what it stands for. Pick one up today, chatsports.com/FGB. The link to get that shirt is in the comments and in the description of this video. It's chatsports.com/FGB. Okay, Tevin Jenkins viewed as the best fit for the New York Giants, as many expect him to sign elsewhere. Here's Bowen saying that the Giants could fill their right guard vacancy. He's played both right and left guard here. With Jenkins, drafted as a tackle, Jenkins has had multiple injuries in his career. However, he has the tools to drive defenders off the ball in the run game, and he had a pass block win rate of 92% last season. There's no question Teven Jenkins is a very good player. But the best availability is availability, and he hasn't been available enough. He's played in less than 50% of the Bears' offensive snaps since he stepped into the league. And even the last 3 years, it's under 62% when he's been deemed a full-time starter. Like, it's just sometimes things just aren't meant to be in life. Sometimes things just don't work out. I hope he goes somewhere else, and I hope he's healthy. It would suck that it wouldn't happen here. But, sometimes in sports, it's just like you need a fresh start. I know it's a cliche, but I think it's the case here. I mean, Teven Jenkins was even asked at the end of the season, like, do you want to be back next year? And he admitted, he was like, I don't know. And I think he's been through a lot. He's had a lot of injuries, coaching changes, positional switches. You think about when Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace drafted him. They drafted him with the intent of making him their left tackle. Then they moved him to right tackle. Then the new regime moved him to right guard. Then they signed Nate Davis, moved him to left guard, and he's had a million injuries on top of all of that. He has been through physical and mental turmoil here. I just think it's probably best for everyone to turn the page and have him play for a new team. And then lastly, Keenan Allen. Jenkins was the 41st ranked free agent per ESPN. Allen 49th. The Rams, who make a lot of sense for a lot of reasons. Bowen saying here, quote, returning to Chicago is an option for Allen, but with the Rams expected to trade Cooper Kupp, probably cut him, there is an opportunity for Allen in Los Angeles. In Sean McVay's offense, Allen could operate as the number 3 option out of the slot. And I do think at this point in his career, high-end number 3, low-end number 2, but a good slot receiver, which with the McVay offense, I think would be pretty appealing for him and just interesting overall. Remember Keenan Allen midseason said that when asked about his future, like, hey, do you want to stay in Chicago? And he basically said, I'm either going to re-sign with the Bears or I want to go back to L.A. He likes the sunshine. He likes the rainbows. If the Bears are ready to move on, he's going back to the West Coast. And guess what? Both the Rams and the Chargers need wide receivers. I think the Chargers would revisit that situation if the price is right, and I think the Rams make a ton of sense, especially if they get out from under Cooper Kupp's contract. They could use the money they save there, throw it at Keenan Allen, who I think at this point in his career is a better player than Cooper Kupp, especially as a receiver. Obviously, Kupp is probably a better blocker, but I think Allen playing off of Puka Nacua is pretty interesting. So I think that makes sense. I don't expect him back in Chicago. I think he's more likely to be back with the Bears than Teven Jenkins is, but I would not be shocked whatsoever if he goes back to Los Angeles. His family was, obviously living out there for the last decade plus with his time with the Chargers. He's comfortable out there. Both those teams need receivers. It just makes a lot of sense for Keenan Allen. Okay, with that being said, fill in the blank. The Bears' number 3 wide receiver next season will be blank. Will it be someone who's currently on the roster like a Tyler Scott? Will it be someone else in free agency? Will it be someone that they take in the NFL draft? Will it be Keenan Allen? That's not completely off the board, although I would bet against it. Fill in the blank for us on this question, and we will see you guys soon here on Chicago Bears Now. More videos to come tomorrow, so hit that subscribe button and bear down.